Tuesday. How many of you, I was laying in my bed this morning and I heard something rumbling. How many of you heard that this morning? Did you hear the thunder? I didn't see any lightning, but I heard the rumbling thunder. Okay, so always be aware of the weather, and I wore my rain boots today. I don't know if you can see them. Because it's rainy and wet outside.
Why you didn't get a jacket?
Okay, so last night for homework, you were supposed to do sentences and definitions with your vocabulary words. You were supposed to also read the story to an adult. Okay, the story is posted in Google Classroom right after your vocabulary words. So real quick, let's go through our vocabulary words. Gusts. Who remembers what gusts are? Misael?
Gusts are strong and gusty.
Yeah, they're strong, short gusts of, well, that's what a gust is. Strong, short rushes of wind. It's a sudden gust of wind. Blows trees over, can blow chairs over, can do a lot. Let's see the next one. Flash. What's a flash? Who remembers? Evie?
It's some sorts of like a sudden flash of light, like lightning.
Yeah.
My mom saw lightning.
Yeah, it's like a sudden burst of light. It doesn't stay lit. It just lights up for a second and then it goes away, okay? Supplies. What are supplies? Somebody online. What are supplies? Somebody online. What are supplies? Elise, what are supplies? Yeah, they're the things you need to be ready for something. If you are in an emergency situation like a hurricane or tornado, you definitely need batteries and gas for a generator, radio. You need food, usually canned food, food that doesn't need to be stored in a refrigerator because you could lose power. And if you lose power, there goes your food in the refrigerator. And our last vocabulary word was layer. What is a layer? Misael? It's sane people. My goodness, wake up, guys. You're talking and it's not your turn. Misael?
A layer is a.
You can explain it.
A layer is when you have many clothing on.
Yeah, when you put things on top of other things. I don't like using the word things, but a layer could be clothing. You could put on a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a light jacket, a heavy jacket, mittens and gloves. You can layer your clothing. Or I was thinking you could even put several layers of paint if you were painting something. Miss Duber's painting doors at her house. So I put one layer of paint on, I let it dry, and then I put another layer of paint on. It's when you put something on top of something else. Those are layers. Evie?
You can also have a layer of snow.
Yep, you can have a layer of snow covering the ground. Good job. Okay, get ready for weather. What were some of the weather, different weather that we talked about yesterday? Sean, what was one?
How it could have a sandstorm.
A sandstorm was one. Very good. What was another?
Thunderstorm.
A thunderstorm. How about another one, Abby?
A blizzard.
A blizzard. Someone online. Brooklyn. What was another form of weather we read about yesterday? Hi, Amari. Good morning. What was it? A what? I don't know what he's saying. They're being too silly. Okay, so we are going to reread the story quickly today, and then we're going to go over some comprehension questions that you're going to be completing for homework tonight? Who loves homework?
No.
Yay, homework. Woo!
No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start. We're on page 160 if you have your orange book. If you do not have your orange book, that's okay because Ms. Stuber has posted it in Google Classroom. Okay? All right. And this story is great for identifying text features. Who remembers what text features are? I don't want an example of it. I just want you to tell me what they are. Sean? I don't want an example. I want you to tell me what they are. What are they? Evie?
They're like things that you need to look inside the book for.
Okay, they're inside the book. Who uses them? Who comes up with them?
The meteorologist.
No, not that. We're talking about books. Who comes up with them, Abby?
The illustrator or the author.
Excellent. Usually the author, sometimes the illustrator, will come up with text features. Text features are different things that the author uses to help you understand the text that you're reading. Okay? Sean gave me an example earlier of bullets in a text. You can bullet something. What's another text feature that we've talked about? Someone besides Evie, Harper. A caption to a picture or a diagram. Who can tell me another one? Grayson? Oh, goodness, we need to do some more work on text features. What is this called right here? It's a heading. So a heading is a text feature. And they all are used by the author to help you understand what you're reading. So we're going to go ahead and read on page 160. Follow along as Ms. Stuber reads. Are you ready? What's the weather? Take a look outside your window. What's the weather like today? It might be sunny or cloudy, rainy or snowy. What's the weather like today, guys?
Rainy.
It's rainy.
Pouring. With the chance of a thunderstorm.
Okay,
Pouring.
one of the neat things about weather is that it's always changing. Temperatures can be warm or cold. Winds can be strong gusts or soft breezes. If it's rainy and chilly today, it could be sunny and warm tomorrow. And even if it's rainy this morning, it might not be so rainy this afternoon. It can change like that. Okay, the weather is always changing. Elise, sit up, honey. All right. Who did we say this lady is? She's a what?
Meteorologist.
Meteorologist. What does a meteorologist do?
Tell us what the weather.
Predict the weather. They study and predict the weather. They use special instruments to predict the weather. All right, so our next section is called Meteorologists Tell Us the Weather. People check the weather forecast to help plan their days. It tells if the weather will be rainy or sunny, hot or cold. Knowing what the weather will be helps people decide what to wear and do each day. If a big storm is on the way, the forecast explains what to expect and how to prepare. Did anyone check the weather forecast last night or this morning? Remember, Miss Stuber did. That's why I wore my boots. Oh, I can't lift my foot. All right. Good job. I definitely check it as the weather is cold or getting warm, because if it's a hot day, I don't want to wear lots of layers because it's going to make me overheated. It's going to be too hot. Okay, so you don't want to be too hot or you don't want to be too cold. All right, today's forecast, thunderstorms. That sounds like today, doesn't it?
Yes.
Thunderstorms are storms that have rain, thunder, and lightning. Lightning can be dangerous. Lightning can strike trees and telephone poles. The bright flash of lightning can be seen from very far away. Sometimes it can even be seen from 100 miles away. Good morning, Aaliyah. It's good to see you, honey. Thunderstorm. Here's a caption down here with the picture. Thunderstorms usually happen in the spring and the summer. Who remembers from our reading yesterday how you can tell how far away a lightning strike is? Lily, do you remember? Okay, pretty close. Pretty close. Abby?
You can count 5 seconds until you hear thunder.
Okay, you don't just count 5 seconds. Okay? When you see a lightning flash, you start counting the seconds. 1, 2, 3. Now you don't want to count really fast, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not a second, really. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you keep counting until you hear the thunder boom. Because once there's lightning, there's going to be thunder booming. Okay? And for every 5 seconds that you count, that is 1 mile away. So if you counted 20 seconds from the lightning to the thunder, how far away is that lightning?
5 miles. 10.
It's
4.
20. I counted 20 seconds.
4 miles.
4 miles away. Good job, Trayvon. All right, let's keep going. If you hear the rumble of thunder, it is a good idea to go inside right away. Indoors is the best place to be during a thunderstorm. If you are outdoors, keep low to the ground and also be sure to stay away from trees. Why is it important to stay away from the trees, Francisco? Why is it important to stay away from the trees? Aiden, you want to help Francisco? No. Why is it important to stay away from trees during a thunderstorm, Ben?
Because lightning strikes the tallest object around.
Okay, so why do you need to be inside for that? Why do you need to stay away from trees?
Because they might strike the trees.
And what might happen?
They might get on fire.
They might catch on fire. What else could happen? What else could happen, Sean?
It could cause a wildfire, or it could hurt you really bad.
Okay, what could happen to parts of the tree? What could happen to parts of the tree, Harper?
It could fall.
Yeah, the branches or the tree limbs could fall down and you could get hurt. So it's important to stay away from trees and go inside if you can, okay? Here's another caption. It says, try this. You can figure out how far lightning is from you. If you see lightning, start counting the seconds until you hear the thunder, like we said. For every 5 seconds you count, that's 1 mile away. So the next time you see lightning, try that and see if it's true. Yes?
So, my mom yesterday told me that my grandma has a picture of that there was lightning struck a tree. It fell down on top of cows.
Oh boy, the lightning fell down on the house, on Matthew's grandma's house, so made the tree fall down. Okay, we're going to switch it up from a thunderstorm and we're going to talk about another type of weather. Another chilly type of weather. What's it called, guys?
Blizzard.
A blizzard. A blizzard is not just a little bit of snow coming down like what we get in North Carolina. A blizzard is a massive amount of snow coming down. Like so much snow that it's hard to see.
I want to have 5 blizzards.
Okay, so today's forecast, blizzards. Do blizzards happen in the summer?
No.
Why not?
Because
It would be too hot and the snow would melt.
The snow would melt. Very good. Yes, ma'am.
did that link expire that we just put on there?
We just put a brand new one up.
Yeah, on the stream. Okay, she was right. Jacob can't get in.
Yeah, the brand new one should work.
Okay.
Okay, blizzards are winter storms. They have very heavy snow and strong winds. So it's heavy snow. It's not just a light dusting of snow. It is a lot of snow. Okay, and wind. It's hard to see in a blizzard. It can also be hard to walk because of the wind and the deep snow. So during a blizzard, the snow piles up quickly. Okay, blizzard shopping. If you live in an area where you get blizzards, or you could get a blizzard, if you hear on the news report that we might get a blizzard, it's important to go shopping. You need to get some essential life-saving things, okay? Stores get very crowded before a blizzard. People start panicking and they get scared. People buy batteries and flashlights in case the electricity goes out. They buy extra food and water too. Having the right supplies is one way to prepare for a storm, okay? And getting those supplies is important to do not just for a blizzard, but for many different types of storms. Okay, Ms. Sanchez? All right. After a blizzard, there is lots of shoveling to do. Why is there lots of shoveling? Ms. Sayel?
Because the snow covers the road and the sidewalks.
Yeah, because there's snow everywhere. Okay, lots of snow. Snow plows work day and night to clear the roads. Here's a snow plow up here. Try to clear the road to make traveling safe. Okay, neighbors help each other shovel sidewalks and driveways. School could even be canceled for a few days. Kids can go sledding and build snowmen, but they better bundle up first. Wearing more than one layer of clothing will keep them warm in the frosty cold. Okay, all right. Now we're gonna switch it up again. Are you ready? I'm freezing. So now I'm gonna go somewhere where it's warm again. All right. The next type of storm we're gonna talk about is a sandstorm. Does anyone remember anything about sandstorms from yesterday? Elise, do you remember something about sandstorms? Okay, it has strong gusts of wind. Okay, what else, Emma?
It is 15 feet tall.
Okay, it can be really huge. Evie?
The way to protect yourself is to put a cloth on your face and wear glasses.
Okay, you need to protect yourself in a sandstorm. Let's go ahead and reread about sandstorms, okay? Sandstorms happen when strong winds pick up sand. In the air, the sand forms into cloud shapes. In very strong winds, these sand clouds can grow to be 50 feet high. That's very high because Miss Stuber is about 5 feet. So if you stacked 10 of Miss Stuber, that would be 50 feet, okay? 50 feet tall. That's how tall a sandstorm can be. The winds can carry the sand for many miles. Sandstorms usually happen in dry, hot areas. And remember I talked about the sandstorm I was in yesterday, and you can't see. I mean, it's very dangerous to be out in a sandstorm. And you can't really predict sandstorms, okay? Abby?
My mom and dad actually been in a sandstorm.
Yeah, Miss Stuber too. It's
Oh,
very
nice one.
scary. Okay, page 167. Being outside during a sandstorm is unsafe. Imagine being inside a swirling cloud of sand. It would be very hard to see. Sand could get in your eyes, nose, ears, and mouth. Covering your face with a cloth and wearing glasses is one way to protect yourself. Finding shelter and staying there until the storm is over is another way to stay safe. Okay? Where's the best place to stay during a sandstorm? Indoors with the windows shut. Okay? Inside with the windows shut. Okay? And the last section we're going to read about is on page 168. Meteorologists use different tools to help predict when and where storms will arrive. Knowing that a storm is coming can help you prepare. Storms can be dangerous, but they can be beautiful too. Stay safe and enjoy the weather wherever you live. Okay? And sometimes a rainbow, a beautiful rainbow appears after a rainstorm. And this is pretty important too. Do you see this picture with this caption down here? It says, keeping pets safe. When a big storm hits, pets need to be protected too. Be sure your pets are indoors where you know it's safe and warm to keep your pets safe and warm, okay? So real quick, we're going to go over your homework. Okay, you've got 3 comprehension questions to do for homework tonight. But you need to make sure you're using the race strategy. Okay, do you remember the song that Miss Bess and I sang with the race strategy? Anybody remember? Do you remember, Sean? If you remember, sing it with me. Ready? Goes like this. Race. Restate the question. Race. Answer the question. Race. Cite your evidence. Race. Examine your answer. Race. Okay? So the first part of race is the R. Restate the question. Okay? Anytime you are answering a question, you need to restate the question. And that just means using part of the question in your answer. Okay, so if we look at question number 1 on page 169, and again, if you don't have the book, that's fine because I've already put it on Google Classroom for you. Okay? It says, which details in Get Ready for Weather help you understand how to get ready for a blizzard? Okay? So the first part of the race strategy is we need to restate that question. Who can help us restate the question? Somebody besides Evie and Sean. They're always volunteering. Layla, how would we restate that question? It's question number 1 on page 169. It says, which details in Get Ready for Weather help you understand how to get ready for a blizzard? Harper, how would we restate that? What are they asking for in question number 1? They're asking for the what? So how could we start that out? No. Somebody was saying it. Who was just saying that online? All right, Layla, how would we restate that question? It's not for the weather, to get ready for a what? For a blizzard. So the details in Get Ready for Weather that help you understand how to get ready for a blizzard are, okay, now we need to answer the question. What page does it talk about blizzards and how to get ready for a blizzard? What page were we on? 164, 165. Okay, pages 164 and 165. So the question is, what details from the story help us get ready for a blizzard? What are the details from the story? Can you go back to the blizzard slide?
This one or this one?
Go back. Well, yeah, right here. Okay, what details from the story? What did the story tell us we needed to do if there was a blizzard coming? Weston?
You go shopping.
You need to go shopping. What do you need to get?
Supplies.
What kind of supplies?
Food, batteries, a flashlight just in case the power goes off.
Yes, food, batteries. What else?
Gasoline for your power generator.
You might need gasoline for your generator. When it says details from the story, guys, you need to make sure you're touching that answer in the book, okay, or on the Google slide. Touch the answer. It's got to come from the story. Not what you think in your brain, but what the author actually said in the story, okay? What about on page 165? What do you need to do? Well, that's after the blizzard, right? So page 164 is the details. Can you go back to the questions? Okay, so the details in Get Ready for Weather that help understand how to get ready for a blizzard are to go shopping and buy supplies like the batteries, extra food and water. Okay, that's all in the text. Now the C for the race strategy is cite your evidence. And the only thing I want you to do with citing your evidence is to make sure you know what page that you got the information from. Can you actually touch the answer in the story? Okay, you've got to go in the story to get the answer. Remember, it's not what you think in your brain. What you think you remember, it's what you touch in the story. Go back to the story, okay? All right, let's look at question number 2. It says, look back on pages 162 and 163. It's the section on thunderstorms. What is the main idea of this section? And what details tell more about it? So how could we restate? This is a 2-part question. So you need to make sure you're answering both parts. How do we restate the question? What is the main idea of this section? What could we say? Abby?
The main idea of this section is.
Good. The main idea of this section is, now can you go back to the thunderstorm slides? Pages 162 and 163. The main idea is what it's all about. Okay, what are pages 162 and 163 all about? What are we learning about here? Evie?
What this section is all about is about thunderstorms.
Okay, it's all about thunderstorms and what else? Sean?
Lightning.
Okay, it's about thunderstorms and lightning. Okay, and the second part of that question says, what details? Okay, what are the details from the story? What details tell us more about it? So you would use details from the story. What did the text actually say about thunderstorms? Page 162 and 163, Matthew. Okay, what did the text actually say about the thunderstorms? If you can see it, it's on the board. Okay, what was something that was said about thunderstorms? Harper?
Lightning can be very dangerous.
That lightning can be very dangerous. What else, Sean?
That thunderstorms have rain, thunder, and lightning in it.
Very good. They have rain, thunder, and lightning. Anything else about thunderstorms, Evie?
The bright flash of lightning can be seen from very far away.
Okay, great. Anything else, Misael?
And it is unsafe to eat where a tree is.
Yeah, stay away from those trees. Okay, so when you cite your evidence and evaluate your answer, that is when you are actually going in the text and you are touching the answer. You are finding the details and touching them in the story. Okay? And our last question for today is compare Get Ready for Weather and Wild Weather. How are the texts alike? What are the most important differences between them? Okay? Do you remember reading Wild Weather?
Yes.
Wild Weather from last week? Okay, if you need to go back into Google Classroom and pull up Wild Weather, remember it was the story with the bird? Okay, how are the two stories alike? What is the same about the two stories? Somebody online, Jacob, how are the two stories alike? Jacob, sit up. It's not sleeping time. They're both about weather. What else? Misael?
And they tell you about this weather.
Yes, they tell you about the weather. Weston?
They tell you how to predict the weather.
Okay. Evie?
They teach you about different kinds of storms.
They teach you about different kinds of storms. That's good. When you are asked to tell the similarities and differences between two things, I think of a bubble map. Does anyone think of a bubble map? What bubble map? I mean, not a bubble map, a thinking map. What thinking map? It's not a bubble map. Close though, Harper.
A double bubble.
A double bubble. Okay, do you remember the double bubble? I think you guys can see where you would put wild weather in one bubble, and you would put get ready for weather in the other bubble, and you would do at least 3 bubbles in the middle. Who remembers what the 3 bubbles in the middle are? What are they, Evie?
The 3 bubbles in the middle
Are the things that are what?
they connect, which means that one side is
No, I'm only talking about these 3 things in the middle. They are what? What are they, Sean?
they are
The
the
thing.
they like tell you how they're alike.
How they are alike. Very good, Sean. The 3 bubbles in the middle have lines to both texts, right? So your 3 bubbles are what is the same about both stories. You're going to have to go back in the stories to find out. You're going to have to go back to last week's wild weather story, okay? And then on the opposite side, you have 3 details that only belong to Get Ready for Weather. They're not in Wild Weather, okay? And then on the other side, you have 3 details that are in Wild Weather that are not in Get Ready for Weather, okay? That will help you answer this question if you do that. If you're comparing and contrasting the 2 stories, okay? But if you do that, you're not finished because you have to answer the question in sentence form. So you have to go back into your journal and you have to write that wild weather and Get Ready for Weather are alike because, and give me a couple of details about how they're alike. And then you need to tell me the 2 stories are not alike because in Wild Weather it says this, and in Get Ready for Weather it says this. These are different, okay? All right. So, my friends, you need to make sure you're restating the questions, answering the questions, providing details, cite your evidence, touch your answers in the book. Use your book or use the Google slideshow that Ms. Stuber posts with the assignments, okay? You will have to go back into Wild Weather to compare it. Okay, Francisco, you should not be writing on your dry erase board right now. You're supposed to be listening. Put it away. Yes, Grayson.
So, and what does that do, Miss Stuber?
That is due tomorrow.
So it is due tomorrow.
Yes,
That means not the next day.
it is due tomorrow.
So you can't do half tonight and half tomorrow night and turn it on Thursday. Just like the 4 definitions were due today, if they were assigned to you. I didn't assign them to some of my kids in here, that's why you didn't have them. But the ones they were, all the 2nd graders got them for sure. So they were due today.
And everything you need is online. If I get a couple minutes,